Okay, so if you're not a chronically online loser or a 40-year-old woman, then you might not know who Austin McBroom is. I'll give you a quick backstory before we get into the actual drama. Austin McBroom used to have a channel called the Ace Family, where it was a family vlogging channel or whatever. You know, he had three kids, I believe. He had a wife, and that ended up with him, I believe, cheating on his wife. So, I mean, needless to say, they got a divorce, and he turned into like the phenotype of Kick streamer, I believe, Kick Twitch, I believe it's Kick, where he's just clip farming now. That's all he does is clip farm. It's honestly kind of a sad fall from grace. You know, he had a loving family, and now he's clip farming OnlyFans models on Kick. I don't know. I was never a fan. I personally don't think family channels are a good thing. You know, kind of shoving a camera in your kid's face, exposing them to the whole internet. For that reason, I'm not going to be showing any of the children in his videos. Just because I don't think I think it's weird. You know, I don't think there's something like creepy about it. I don't. You know, but I think it's unfortunate for the children. So the drama started while he was doing one of his usual streams, and he was dressed up as Spider Man. And another streamer who's a clip farmer, her name's Brandy Burr. She walked up to him and just straight up groped his pickle, bro, like in front of people, in front of children, in front of families. Just straight up grabbed his pickle.
You're welcome. Have a good one. Yeah. Wow. Kids are freaking so amazing.
Hey, Spider-Man.
Hey, how?
Oh, it's big.
Nah, give me a second to process. Why everybody laughing? That shit was not funny. I got violated. Whoa, Chad.
So you can tell he's obviously very weirded out, and it's actually pretty sad, if real, because this is all allegations, and I'll get into that. But it's honestly pretty gross, regardless, that people were laughing about it, that saw what happened. He even says, "Why is everyone laughing?" Which is, if real, very unfortunate and disgusting, in my opinion. So the drama originally started when Brandy Burr, her account on TikTok was bombarded with you know, comments about how it was disgusting and how it was SA, and her responses to the comments are what really like fueled the drama to start with. She was doubling down. She was saying he wanted it. She was saying that he wasn't complaining, that it wasn't SA, blah blah. She was straight up doubling down instead of saying that it wasn't SA. And I can't get a lot of comments because after a while of that, she privated her TikTok account, so I can't even get onto it now, which looks a little sus to me. But maybe not. Maybe she's just avoiding the harassment. But the way she was talking and responding to the comments, and the fact that she's a clip farmer, just makes it feel like if that wasn't a skit, she seems like the type of person that just doesn't care about consequences. She should just, any clout is good clout for her. But after enough backlash, she made a video basically going over how it was all set up and he paid her to do it and it was a whole skit. She didn't know it was going to be twisted into like an SA thing. Again, this is all alleged, but she did upload a video.
Okay, guys, I'm coming at you with the receipts of what really happened because people want to say that I'm lying and that it's AI when it's clearly not. I cannot even believe I'm making this video right now. I do not want to. I hate drama like this. This is not something I agreed to do when asked to do this skit. I had no idea that this was going to happen and that the other party was not going to defend me, and they only care about views and they're basically profiting off of my expense. And yeah, it's just not right, and I'm being heavily taken advantage of. And yeah, so here we go. Let's go with my side of the story.
The big problem with the type of personality she portrays, where she was doubling down and not really giving a fuck what people thought, if it was real or not, is that when you switch from that to then saying you're being taken advantage of, it's very hard for people to actually believe you, you know?
Howie. I know that I need to clear my name because this is not right. Comments telling me to myself every day. My number's leaked. I'm getting phone calls. This is honestly awful. And I've expressed to the other party of what's happening, and they just told me to sweep it under the rug and not say anything, and it will blow over. I'm sick of these men trying to take advantage of us women, especially on streams.
Yeah, I'm not really going to get into that statement, but I think we can all agree that that is not a good look. And if you want people on your side, that really isn't a good thing to say. Whether it's true or not, it's just not a good thing to say to exclude an entire gender, especially when you are being accused of SA. Of course, it's all alleged. She could be telling the truth, but there is no solid proof. And saying that it's not going to make people on your side, you know? She basically goes on to say that Austin's manager reached out to her on Instagram and like set up the whole skit, that it was a it was a cup. He was wearing a cup, so she didn't actually grab his pickle. Regardless if it was a skit or not, which of course everything's alleged. I have to say that. She still did it in front of children, which I think is very weird. And the fact that people didn't know it was a skit and they still laughed at him is also very weird and unfortunate. Now, you have people coming to Brandy Burr's defense, like this random user. He made her take down the video showing receipts. This guy's a really bad person. I'm not saying what she did was right, but he's even more evil for how this is unfolding. Sorry, I'm reading like I am in a special education class. Oh, my CapCut is the text is so small, dude. I'm like straining to read this. Um, but the thing is, how could first of all, how could he force her to stay silent unless she signed some type of NDA? Which, if she did and she came out making that video, she's still in violation of that. So there's no point in taking down the video, you know. And I doubt she signed a fucking NDA. Let's be honest. And also, these are random people saying this stuff. You can't really take it. You have to take it with a grain of salt. There's also this person named Dana or Dana, whatever. She says Austin wanted to be grabbed. It was consensual. She never thought it would be twisted into being about SA because it was not SA. Austin wanted her to grab him, and he was wearing a cup. They screwed her over because people like that only care about views and money and do not care at whose expense. It's sickening. Let's not forget he's already a bad person. To take his side when the facts are here is insane. And not only that, read the caption, people. She knows it was wrong in hindsight and apologizing, unlike Austin. Now, I don't know what the caption says because, again, she privated her account. Um, Again, though, this is a random person. Unless I'm missing something and they're like friends, but from what I know, this is a random person that just saw receipts and took them at face value. Brandy liked the comment, which I guess is a silent acknowledgement of it. Okay, update. I think I found a screenshot of the caption. It says, since I'm being accused of something I was specifically asked and paid to do for a planned skit, I'm sharing the receipts. I stayed quiet hoping this would blow over, but the harassment has continued and the threats have gone too far. I was told this was going to blow over by him and his team, but I can't keep staying silent when I feel like my well-being is in danger. These are the messages I received before and after the video. I think they speak for themselves. I'm also adding screenshots of me on the list and invited to his party today that I will not be attending, along with screenshots of them paying me $1,000 to take down the story saying it was a skit. This is where it gets a little confusing. Since she privated her account, I don't have screenshots of the actual proof. If you want to go look for it, maybe you'll have better luck finding it. But it's all hypothetical because if these screenshots are real, they could be photoshopped or AI or edited. That's, the dangers of having AI, which I usually wouldn't accuse someone with receipts of that. But it's very, very hard to take her at face value when she was doubling down in her comments. Her whole, presence on the internet is clip farming and doing things for attention. That's why she took the skit, alleged skit in the first place. And the fact that it happened in front of children doesn't make it better. And there's also the case of, if she was willing to take down the video for more money, like she said, $1,000, and she took down the video, the fact that she took down the video where she comes out and shares her story for $1,000 for money and she takes it down does not add anything to her credibility, not at all. And I know that Austin McBroom has had scandals in the past, like, cheating on his wife, whatever. I don't know all of it. I do know that he's not a good person, and he's just like her. He clip farms and does shit with OnlyFans models. So it is very much a possibility that it's a skit, and I'm not dismissing that, but I'm saying it is very hard to take her serious when she was defending it. She took down her video explaining it for money, and there's video evidence of her groping him in front of children. That is, you can see why I'm more inclined to believe him. Unless solid proof comes out, I would be willing to admit that I'm wrong. And I'm not gonna say definitively that any person is in the right, but I think people are way too open in just accepting Brandy Burr when she says that it was all a skit. I've also seen the narrative of believe all victims and people believing Brandy Burr because she says she's a victim of the skit being turned on her into an essay thing. I think that's ridiculous because the original victim is Austin McBroom. If we look at it with the proof that we have, Austin McBroom is the victim. She's the one defending herself. She is not the victim here unless solid proof comes out that says otherwise. So if you want to really stand by believe the victim and you're going off potentially fabricated evidence against video proof, then that's ridiculous. Now, like I said earlier and said 1,000 times in this video, this is all alleged and I don't have any solid 100% definitive stance. I'm not going to say Austin McBroom is innocent. I'm not going to say Brandy Burr is innocent. I guess we just have to wait to see if this blows over or if any actual solid evidence comes out. But I will say I am more inclined to believe Austin McBroom. And even if it was Brandy Burr coerced into doing a skit, she still did it in front of families and children, which is also just not excusable. But I am completely open to being wrong. I'm not accusing Brandy Burr of lying. I'm not doing any of that. I'm fully open to being incorrect. But until I see solid evidence that I am incorrect, I'm going to stick by my stance. But what do you think? Was Austin McBroom essayed, or did he set this whole thing up? I mean, I'm actually curious on what people think. So, leave a comment or whatever. Subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Next video, I'm going to be talking about ABDL hypergamous Agartha furries or some other slop. I don't know. So, yeah, later.
Thought without a body ought to be the shot to take a load off. My brain is poisoned and I'm searching for the antidote, but every time I find it, my defense is